Hey, it's day 5, and this morning I felt a bit better than I did yesterday morning, but I still felt naff. Not like pre-tablet ADHD naff, a bit worse. And I think it's because I was anxious because last night I didn't do a video update yesterday, so I've got a lot to talk about. I will have to edit this video because I'm probably going to waffle loads, and we all know how boring waffling is to someone that might be watching this with ADHD. But so yes, anxious this morning because I didn't know whether I wanted to carry on taking these capsules or not. Now, yesterday I actually had quite a good day, except for panic attacks on the way in the van. Not major, but I did have to do breathing exercises. I wasn't like depressed, freaking out anxiety. It was more like bodily anxiety, and mentally it made me think I wouldn't be able to talk to people anxiety. I was on my way to a barbecue. I don't normally get social anxiety, actually. I normally get anxiety afterwards when I think about the things I've said. But when I'm in a social place, I'm generally not too bad. I don't really care. I just kind of like, I am quite a sociable, I'm an extrovert, I'd say. I don't normally find it that hard. This was weird for me. It was an odd thing. I was like, my husband said you could stay home if you want, but it was a summer barbecue with lots of people we know, and I normally would be so excited. Not excited, but I'd be like, I really want to go, because I just love chewing people's ears off, basically. And I didn't want to not go, but I was just like, why is this happening to me? Why do I feel like, because my heart was, I think it was just what it was, is the drug had reached some kind of peak. I think it was like a 4-hour peak yesterday after taking it. And so I think my heart was just beating so fast, I couldn't think straight. And that just needed to kind of plateau. But going and doing something like having to socialise when I was in that state, which I'm assuming could just be I'm thinking now maybe that just happens when you're first taking the medication and that tapers off. But it's probably not a good idea to go and do something like that. But when that's happening, but I was like, I'm very much a person that's like, no, I won't live like this. I won't stop myself from doing these things. And sometimes I wonder if that makes my anxiety worse. But anyway, I pushed on and I made a plan with my husband. If I need to leave, can you explain to people, say she's on these new, tell the truth if you want, she's on these new whatever you want, but just make sure that they know that I don't know that I'm all right, basically. Even though I wasn't really. But then I got there, saw someone that I was kind of mostly comfortable with. She was anxious as well because she does get social anxiety. And so that was interesting to talk to her, because I hadn't talked to her about that before. Because I opened up to her, she opened up to me, as you do. And you find that the more people you talk to, the more people struggle with anxiety. And then you actually end up feeling better about it. Yeah, I was talking to her for ages and looking behind me at the other people. We don't know them majorly well because they're my stepdaughter's football team, friends and family, and so it was the first time we'd all met up, but we see each other every weekend at the games. And I was looking behind me every so often, and I was thinking, I can't go over there. I just can't. And I just thinking, this is why some people who have social anxiety look rude. Because when you have social anxiety, I guess you could either look rude or like arrogant or something. And I was like, I really don't want to look like that. So eventually, once I managed to try and calm myself down, I took the next step to the big lot of people behind me and sort of clung on to one person and told her pretty much straight away, blurted out that I was on these new tablets. She explained her anxieties to me that happened to her when she went through HRT, when she had menopause, gave her the anxiety. So we were talking about that, and then I felt so much better. I think a lot of it is just my anxiety. So I've come to the conclusion that going on these pills, Elvanse, I have anxiety, not really social normally. It's normally a health anxiety, I think. Like I have panic about panic. So I panic about panicking because I've had such horrendous panic attacks in the past that have lasted hours when I had hypothyroidism. My panic is all about panicking. So I think mine comes more from feeling things in my body. I might have a panic attack if I've drunk too much alcohol the night before and I have a hangover. Or I might be driving and we get stuck in traffic and I'm hot and my heart starts beating a little bit faster, and then that might suddenly push me into a panic attack. But it doesn't, I've had it fairly under control before I started these tablets, so it's kind of like brought it all back. So yeah, but I just because I know that a lot of the bad anxiety I'm having at the moment is just like it's more me than the capsules, I want to carry on. Yeah, as soon as I took the capsule this morning, even before it can't have worked that quickly, after 5 minutes I started to relax because I knew it would like kick in. And yeah, so I had anxiety for about, it was only like half an hour yesterday, an hour, and then I felt fine. But then it got to last night and I was fine until I decided I was going to go to bed. And then I think I started panicking about not being able to sleep properly because I was so tired, where I haven't had quite enough sleep. I haven't struggled too bad, considering some people have taken it and then not been able to sleep a whole night. I have got like 5-6 hours, and I need, ideally for me, 9. Yeah, I was aware of how I needed a good night's sleep. I knew would sort me out, and I think then I was just panicking about not being able to sleep. But also, I had this shooting thing down my arm, and it wasn't like muscular. It was almost like a tendon or something, and it went all the way up my thumb, but it wasn't there all the time. And it started before I went to bed, and I just said to myself, it's just anxiety, or the tablets, but it's fine, it's nothing crazy. But then when I was laying down at night, and obviously then you're hyper focused on it, I just was like, of course I started getting the good old friend Google out. And and then I suddenly decided that I had serotonin syndrome, which is basically where you have too much serotonin in your body and it can be like fatal or something. That freaked me out, so I'm Googling that. And then I'm reading some things and my heart rate's going up. I'm reading other things and I'm like, no, it's okay. And in the end, I just walked around the house, talked to my husband because he stays up really late. This was like midnight, just before midnight last night in the end. And he's had a chat with me, calmed me down. I potted about, had a bit of water, and took a vitamin C just because someone told me that can reduce the effects of the capsules. So I was like basically clutching at straws. Crunched on a vitamin C. And then I was just like, right. I put the aircon in my room and just kind of I just did a bit of meditation. But as I was going to sleep, it was like that. As soon as I started to drift off, it was like that kind of almost jumpy feeling. Like when I drift off, almost like my heart was slightly too elevated for me to fall asleep, and I'd suddenly wake up. And then the anxiety would sort of kick up a bit again, and then I'd have to start all over. But because I've had panic attacks and because I had hypothyroidism as well, which that happened at night time when I went to bed, I know it's a familiar feeling for me. I did end up managing to get to sleep in the end. And then I think I just felt rubbish this morning because of the lack of sleep. And I'm thinking, if I can push on through and then gradually manage to get to bed earlier and earlier, take the tablet earlier and earlier, because I think I need to take it. Maybe even do what some people do, set the alarm at like 5, take it, go back to sleep, and then it will kick in at or maybe take it at like 6. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow and then let you know what happens. But yeah, I took it at 9 today because I decided it's now or never. So yeah, I took it and now I feel great. I feel really good. I wouldn't be doing this video if I hadn't have taken it, but it's a stimulant, so I don't know. I'd rather just be like this normally. But yeah, I've done loads of stuff already this morning. What is it now? It's like 10:30. And I've done loads of washing, sorted the kids out, bits and bobs. So that I don't think I would have done that any other day on a Sunday. What else have I got to tell you? So it's just... But then the barbecue ended up being fine in the end. And I ended up getting back to my normal self of chitter-chattering. And then I didn't come home and worry about anything I'd said. I've been anxious about the exercise thing because I like exercise and I wanted to exercise, but I've been a bit anxious about that. I did a bit of badminton at the barbecue, and that obviously elevated my heart rate. So I was a bit anxious about that, but it actually felt good. So I want to, I'm going to go for a bike ride today later, I think. But yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to say. I'll try and keep you updated. I didn't do a video last night because I just felt so tired. I'll try and do another one later on how I feel. If anything changes, I'll try and do a video. And yeah, keep you updated, anyone who's interested. And yeah, mainly doing the videos just for something for me to look back on. And just in case I need to remind myself of how it feels.